any sleepers?
I got a ring.
Got a backpack or something.
We booked it about halfway through the first half.
You got a lounge.
Just a bit cold these days.
Alrighty.
You know, pretty special performance from the boys tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was a quality game of football. 0-0 half time, fast game. A lot of ball movement from both sides. So that was, we just had to really hang in. And Broncos credit, they saved a few tries. We had to come up with a couple of special plays as well, and got down to a real grind. And proud of the boys for hanging in. And boys have backed up as well from Origin. It's a tough ask in a physical and fast game of football. So it was a quality game.
How many, that defensive effort was pretty spectacular. Not many teams keep the Bronx to 0 points.
No, you don't, and I thought their effort was great as well. Both sides were very committed to defending their line, and their scramble was good, and they kept turning up for each other, and we had to be like that, otherwise they could have got through for a couple of tries, so we were desperate as well. So that's the style of football you need to play against the top sides, and they're certainly up there.
Matt, all the fellas, sorry.
There you go.
I was going to say all the fellas backing up played strongly, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I thought JT was sensational. For him to get through the amount of work he does, 2 days after an Origin is something special. And we needed it tonight. I think it was just one of those games. It's probably the quickest NRL game we've played in, and we needed all 17 to contribute.
How did they compare with Origin, Matty? It was like a mini Origin game.
It was pretty much up there. It's not the sort of game you want 2 days after. I was hoping for a nice slow game with about 80% completion, but no, look, it was a great game, great defensive effort by both sides, and I thought it's probably the best we've held in there for a long time.
Neil, was it a bit of a relief to get the win after those 2 losses?
Oh, yeah, it's great to have a win in a good game of football as well. I'm pleased, as Matty's saying, the standard we played, and it's a quality game for both sides. So it's good to aim up there and keep them scoreless against a good attacking side. And there were a few bounces of the ball where it got touched and 6 to go, and we had to absorb that and get on with what we had to do next. And I thought that everyone played their role. 1 through to 17 turned up and did their job, and that's what's required in this competition.
Does it rate fairly highly amongst wins as a head coach here at the Cowboys?
Oh, look, I think to beat the Broncos twice in the same year, I think that's special for us anyway. And but in the scheme of things, it's 2 points we needed, given we'd dropped 2 games and we were up near the top 4 for a while, and now we're back in the pack, and it just makes the game against Canberra very important to us too, leading into the next Origin, and another bye in a game against the Warriors. But before we worry about Canberra, we certainly enjoy the victory tonight, and the Origin boys obviously get a bit of a break on an 8-day turnaround and try and freshen up and get away from footy for a little bit and get back here for Saturday's game.
Yeah, I guess the Maroons could do worse than pick Matty Bowen after the way he went tonight.
Oh, look, we were joking there too. He wasn't making some targets with his running. He said he was saving his legs for tonight. So I said, that's fair enough, mate. You just save him for the game.
Do you reckon he should come under consideration, Matty?
Oh, definitely. I think he's been thereabouts, obviously, but tonight's performance definitely wouldn't have hurt his chances. He's done the job before, and he's very experienced in that role.
How about Brent? You wouldn't have known he was battered and bruised.
Oh, he would if you listened to him. No, look, he's a great effort again from him. He's obviously a few years older than the rest of us, and sorry, Tatey, but for him to physically turn up and put in that performance was very impressive.
Neil, do you think Matt Bowen has set himself? He's not sort of that worried about rep football now, is he? Or do you think he secretly is?
I think he'd like to represent. I think that's still that desire's there with him. It was a great performance tonight. I think Queensland have got a few options there too, haven't they, with Greg Inglis, and you never know, Billy might bounce back and be right in a couple of weeks. So it's a posterior injury. Everyone's saying he won't be right, but I'll tell you what, he recovers pretty well. So Mel and the selectors will have a look at that. But as Matt said, he wouldn't let anyone down. He's in good form.
You talked about JT there. He looked like a man possessed. Was he any more intense before the game than normal?
Not really. Well, I think you know, he's mentally he's prepared himself really well for this game. You know, to turn around like that, and you know, the amount of ground he covers he goes from one side to the other. So I don't know how he does it, but he's a special player, and you know, we needed him to turn up at the times that he did for us. But you know, saying that, you know, it's a bit of a cliche, but it was a 17-man effort, and I think, you know, if we drop our heads and don't hold in there defensively, then he doesn't get those opportunities to finish the sets off.
Where does that defensive effort rate in your time here? Can you?
That's right up the top. You know, like I said before, I can't remember a time where we've hung in like that before. We had a couple of calls go against us, a couple of repeat sets, and you know, in the past we've probably dropped our head a bit and let that affect us, but all credit to the boys. We sort of held in there against a pretty good attacking side.
Just one win, but is it the sort of game that you can really build on, do you think?
Oh, we need to build off it. I think that's the standard you have to play at in the NRL. You know, that's the way we need to come off the field every week with you know, with nothing left, and we need to defend like that every week.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.